The Demogorgon is the signature monster of the Upside Down, a flower-headed interdimensional apex predator that has haunted Hawkins since the 1980s. But this creature isn't static. It is a rapid-growth biological weapon that evolves through multiple distinct stages, transforming from a tiny slug into a colossal beast in a terrifyingly short span of time. The question is, does the evolution stop at the adult Demogorgon, or is there another stage we haven't seen yet? The life cycle begins in a very parasitic way. We first see the evidence of this stage with Will Byers and Barbara Holland. The reproductive cycle seems to start with a host being impregnated by a tendril within the Upside Down or Dimension X. This tendril deposits eggs or larvae directly into the victim. Stage 1 is the larva. Resembling a large garden slug, these creatures are generally dark green with bright yellow spots. We saw this horrific reality when Will Byers, a month after being rescued, coughed up a larva into his bathroom sink. While it looked small and helpless then, washing it down the drain was essentially releasing an invasive species into the Hawkins ecosystem. These larvae are slimy, vulnerable, and seem to function purely on instinct, seeking safety and warmth to prepare for their first metamorphosis. While the 2019 Topps trading cards confirm this slug is the first stage, it's easy to underestimate the threat level here. But as we saw with the events surrounding Dustin and Dart, leaving a larva alive is a fatal mistake. After an unknown period, or perhaps accelerated by high calorie intake, the larva molts into Stage 2, the pollywog. This name comes from its resemblance to the larval stage of Earth amphibians, specifically tadpoles. At this point, the creature is small enough to fit in the palm of a human hand. Its skin becomes translucent and yellow-green, and it develops a pair of forelimbs and a lizard-like tail. This is the stage where Dustin Henderson found Dart. Crucially, the pollywog is incredibly sensitive to heat and light. We saw Dart recoil in pain from a simple table lamp, a weakness that carries over into their adult lives as a vulnerability to fire. They are opportunistic feeders in this phase. Dart foraged in trash cans and happily devoured a Three Musketeers bar. It looks almost cute here, but this is the calm before the storm. The growth rate is seemingly tied to food consumption. While a wild Demogorgon might take a year to reach this stage, a well-fed one like Dart can race through it in days. Stage 3 is unique because, unlike the other jumps in evolution, this one does not involve molting. The creature transitions directly into what the production team internally called the frogorgon. The physical changes here are rapid and disturbing. The skin shifts from translucent yellow-green to a darker green, and the body mass increases significantly. Most notably, the creature sprouts hind legs, becoming a quadruped. This is the moment the biology shifts from scavenger to predator. Small, sharp teeth begin to fill the mouth, and the friendly bond Dustin thought he had with Dart began to strain. The creature isn't just looking for nougat anymore, it's looking for protein. Once the frogorgon consumes enough biological matter, it molts again, entering Stage 4, the catagorgon. Roughly the size of a house cat, this is the turning point where the creature becomes unmistakably a Demogorgon. The signature petal mouth develops, the terrifying opening face that defines the species. At this stage, the creature is fully carnivorous. We saw this when Dart ate the Henderson family cat, Muse. The skin darkens further and, terrifyingly, becomes more resistant to heat. A catagorgon can withstand direct sunlight without the discomfort seen in the pollywog stage. It's faster, stronger, and lethal to small animals. It is no longer a pet, it's a monster in training. Quick break. This video is sponsored by the Pendragon Cycle, a new fantasy show that has some of the craziest visuals I've ever seen. So let's take a look at the trailer. Right away, the scale hits you. It's called the Pendragon Cycle, and it looks like it was made for the big screen. The sets, the costumes, the atmosphere, everything feels unbelievably authentic, like you've been dropped straight into ancient Britain. And that makes sense because this series is based on the beloved novels by Stephen R. Lawhead, and it's meant to be the foundation of the entire Arthurian legend. The show follows a young Merlin, before the myth, before Camelot, caught between warring tribes, fading gods, prophecy, and destiny. It mixes massive world building, epic battles, and powerful magic effects with a grounded emotional tone. This isn't the Camelot you know, it's the birth of a civilization, where ancient pagan powers collide with the rise of something new. And yes, the trailer gives us some wild moments, like a stunning reveal of the Lady of the Lake, plus an incredibly cool shot of Excalibur in the stone. If you've been missing true high fantasy, this absolutely scratches that itch. The Pendragon Cycle Rise of the Merlin premieres exclusively on Daily Wire Plus on January 22nd, 2026. Click the link in the description to watch the trailer now, and thanks to the Pendragon Cycle for sponsoring this video. Okay, now back to the video. The penultimate molt brings us to Stage 5, the Demodog. This is the form we saw swarming the Hawkins National Laboratory. Now the size of a large dog or wolf, the Demodog possesses immense strength, capable of tackling a fully grown human and tearing through bone. They're quadrupedal pack hunters, displaying a hive mind coordination that makes them formidable siege units. They can dig tunnels rapidly and scale steep cliffs. While they are durable, having skin thick enough to deflect some gunfire, they are not invincible. They can be killed with sustained damage. As we saw in the Russian Kamchatka facility, they can be dissected. However, their true strength lies in numbers. A single Demodog is dangerous. A pack is a death sentence. After a final molt, the creature rises on 2 legs. This is stage 6, the adult Demogorgon. Standing between 6 and 10 feet tall, the adult is a biological tank. Its skin is bulletproof against small arms fire, and it possesses physical strength great enough to tear steel doors off their hinges. While they can run on all fours, they primarily hunt as bipeds. Their sensory perception is unique. They don't use eyes. They track via a form of demovision, likely a combination of acute smell, detecting blood across dimensions, and sonic or thermal sensitivity. Perhaps the most terrifying ability of the adult is its power to open temporary rifts between dimensions. If a mother gate exists nearby, a lone Demogorgon can tear a hole in reality to step through walls and trees. We've seen that adults can survive even when cut off from the hive mind, as proven by the Russian Demogorgon in 1986. They are apex predators, resilient to almost everything except intense fire and high caliber explosives. This brings us to the ultimate question. Is the adult actually the final stage? In nature, some species have life cycles that continue into stages rarely seen, often reserved for colony leaders or elders. We know the Demogorgon is part of a hive mind. In insect colonies, like ants or bees, there's often a queen or a distinct royal guard caste. Also, we have to look at the source material, Dungeons & Dragons. In D&D lore, the Demogorgon is the Prince of Demons and is famously depicted with 2 heads. The Demogorgons we have seen in Stranger Things so far only have 1. Could there be a stage 7, a royal Demogorgon or elder Demogorgon that molts one last time to grow a second head, granting it higher intelligence or a direct command link to the Mind Flayer independent of the shadow particles? Or perhaps the final stage of the Demogorgon's life isn't to grow larger, but to integrate. Maybe the oldest Demogorgons eventually lie down and take root, transforming into the vines and biological architecture that make up the Upside Down itself, literally becoming the world they inhabit. From a slug in a sink to a bulletproof interdimensional stalker, the life cycle of the Demogorgon is a masterclass in biological horror. It adapts, it consumes, and it grows at a rate that gives humanity almost zero margin for error. And that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out the video on your screen for some more deep dives.